He says.
My move.
All right. Ah.
Starting on the cosmetic, so I've got this binding all scraped down nice. Got to do some touch up here, touch up around the edges. That's about it. It looks like a mess until it isn't, once again. Well, it sure is a beautiful late summer / early fall day here in St. Louis, and I put some color code on here. So next I'm just going to use my Acme binding scraper and scrape some of this Acme binding down and then color that. Alrighty. Okay, it's time to amberize this binding. It's just too glaring white for me. Alrighty. We're going to do a couple of coats of that. It looks kind of white in the camera. It actually is yellower than that. And we'll see the final results in daylight. Now I'm adding a little transparent brown to it. And I'm going to do a few coats of that. Try and match the brown here. Yeah. Alrighty. I'm starting to get like really excited. This thing is really getting ready to play. Still a ways off. So I'm going around and I'm drop filling these little pits and stuff that I see from the old finish. And then I'm going around, rather than sanding, I'm going around with this scraper and just leveling them down. It works great. I don't know where this thing has been all my life, but you can see where I leveled that one right there and go back and just drop fill. I know I'm being persnickety, but you know, in the end, here, I'll show you what I do here. So here, look at this, is all drop filled. Watch. See, there you go. Now that can be There's a couple little spots. If I feel like, I can spray it. I can touch this up with a color pen here and wet sand. You know, I know I'm being persnickety, but I'm going to keep going for a little while. All right, this drop filling, really time consuming, but the drop filling and scraping with my little scraper, I think is better, because when you try to drop fill and then sand it, you're sanding all the colors around the edge. So you could, with this thing, you can attack directly on the drop and scrape it down. I also cleaned up the binding a little bit. I'm going to make the top of the binding a little bit lighter than the edge to kind of simulate wear. Anyways, ready to start putting some more clear on here after I do a little touch up on the color. When you do drop fill with lacquer, you really got to let it dry overnight. Why don't you use super glue? Well, there's a real simple reason. Super glue dries harder than lacquer. Plus, I hate the stuff. But anyways, it dries harder than lacquer, so when you go to buff it out, there's a witness line. Kind of like a fret-induced back bow. Onward. If this seems like it's taking a long time, it's 'cause it is. 'Cause I'm getting ready to just buff it out. Put one final shiny coat on here. I think I can buff this now and blend it in so that it looks properly aged and funky. Alrighty. Well, I've started what I think is going to be the buffing out process. I think I'm done with the spraying. I'm gonna redo all this, get all the overspray off, and I'm going with about a 1200 grit here. Is it gonna look brand new? No. Do I want it to look brand new? No. So there you go. That you're gonna see forever, or until the sun goes supernova at least. So here's the sprayed part over here. And yes, there's going to be lots of imperfections because I didn't want to sand them all out, taking away wood. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Progress. You've watched some of my other videos on the steps to get a finish like this. I call this the buffed back better. I'm on to shining up those frets, and then I'm going to make a bone nut for it and put it together. All right. Done some cracked back better. No, I don't have a crack head sun, just cracking the finish here. All right. Now I'm soaking this fretboard with a natural oil. At work, I use Music Nomad, but I don't endorse their product. Why? Because at work, I'm always endorsing their product. And one time I asked them for maybe a little freebie because I'm constantly selling their stuff and using their stuff. And they said, no. So I'm using just a regular old linseed oil, olive oil, sesame oil, any kind of natural oil here. Getting excited here. This is getting ready to put together. All right. And here's the fingerboard properly oiled. Well, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure what was originally on here, but, and I'll probably change them at some point, but I got these from various, I don't know, battlefields, and there was a similar set on here, very similar, and I don't know if those are original or not, but at some point I'm going to get some open back Grovers. Right now my budget's a little tight, thanks to building back better with everything. Got to sacrifice, you know. Just ask them, they'll tell you. Everybody's got to tighten their belts. I hear it all the time. Hey LA, how are you going to fit this cool handmade bridge to that top? You know, I see these modern jazz, fill in the other hand, jazz guitar arch tops, and they got the bridges sliding all over the place. It's because they're not properly fit. They just don't have the manpower over in those Indonesian sweatshops to properly fit a bridge. Sad but true. So I'll show you some of the steps how I do it here. First thing you do is you drill the holes undersized for the bridge adjustment post, and then you take these thumb screws, you crank them together that you purloined off another worthless bridge, and then you thread that down as straight as can be into the bridge. You do that on both sides. Okay, I got me a nice nut made. Look at that. Too bright? Sorry. Nice nut made. That sounds like a drink. It's a nice nut made from, it's not bone, it's Ivorite. Meaning I have a right to make it out of whatever I want. All right, onward. So the next step, you kind of just, you draw a line kind of like you did with the bracing, like I did with the bracing. You draw just a line and kind of taste, and then you hog out some wood on the curved end of the belt sander. And then you steal a kid's skateboard wheel and a nice coat hanger, and you put together this kind of contraption. It kind of holds it together, holds it really nice, so that you can run it back and forth along the top. I'm going to double stick some sandpaper right where I want it, and slowly and painstakingly shape this to fit the top. This is the best way to do it that I've found. This is relatively painless. Got it fit on there. Sorry for the camera work. Got it fit on there. Super nice. You know, I checked the neck angle. I'm gonna put the top on this bridge. Well, would you look at that? The final step before I put strings on it. Strings on it. For those of you that have experienced the heartbreak of psoriasis, it's nothing compared to getting this guitar after months of work. All together, just needs some fine tuning. Find out my tone control's not working. Oh, the freaking lead broke right off on this beautiful Astron. Late 50s. Astron yellow cap. I gotta finagle and get another one in there. Shucks.
right. Crazy about you, baby, but I just ain't got the price. You a high class woman, I swear it ain't no lie. Gone back home in my old gal suit. Gone back home in my old gal suit. Ain't the cabinet kind of like a train old Billy stew. Oh, kidney stew is fine. Kidney stew is fine. You can keep your woman, ain't no botheration on your mind.